Brian with OregonOutside.net. Rock climbing season is here, and whether you're headed to Smith Rock, Yosemite, or Joshua Tree, you're going to need a good pair of shoes to get you up the crag. There are so many good shoes and brands out there. I personally would make your decision based off of three things: your experience, the style or kind of rock climbing you're doing, and the amount of time that you're going to spend in the shoe. Okay? So let's break it down. Let's start with experience. The longer that you have been climbing, the better you are at shoe selection. It's just that simple, and it gets easier. Reason being is that you most likely have a good idea of what your rocky needs are and what shoes are going to work best for you. But for those of you who are new to climbing, I would not recommend going out and buying a $150 to $200 rock shoe that you're just going to burn the rubber off of scrambling up your first several routes. Most companies have an entry-level shoe and price range, but the brands that seem like they're always on sale and that I would recommend for beginners are Mad Rock and Evolve. They have a tendency to be a little bit more reasonably priced, even when they're not on clearance, and they are just as good as all the higher-end brands. I really don't think you're going to notice the performance difference in the very beginning. Now next, you'll want to match your shoe to the style or kind of climbing you're wanting to do. Most people will start out sport climbing on single pitch, bolted faces, usually starting from the ground. This is where your all-around shoe will be the most useful. My personal recommendations are the 510 Spire. This is a lace-up all-around shoe that you'll have for ages. And this is mine from freshman year in college when I first started climbing, actually, and I haven't even resold it. I guess that tells you how much climbing I do. The Sportiva Nago. For my big boats, this shoe is awesome. Bought it on sale, and it's still priced at around $100 currently. Another good one is the 510 Moccasym. A great slip-on shoe, probably one of the best ever made, and also a shoe that you can grow into. These are shoes that are great for starting out in climbing and are superb for multi-pitch routes, where you might spend several hours in your shoes. On a side note, remember that with all leather shoes, you'll want to get a half to a full size smaller, as they will stretch. Lined shoes shouldn't stretch much, if at all. So once you start getting into bouldering and harder sport routes, you'll probably want a shoe that has a positive curve to it. A very sharp rubber edge and a really, really snug fit. Sometimes a full size to a size and a half smaller than your normal shoe size. There probably won't be a comfortable shoe to wear for long periods of time, but it can sure help you slay that V6 boulder problem that you've been working on. For this type of climbing, I would recommend the Sportiva Miura. It's a great shoe that is lined, sharp, and always manages to put me in a positive stance in the rock, even when I feel the holds are negative and I'm going to pop off any second. As for crack climbing, some things to consider. You'll be jamming your foot into abrasive cracks that will have a tendency to want to hold on to things when you don't want them to. For that reason, I would not recommend shoes with Velcro enclosures, as they will get pulled open eventually. I will recommend getting a shoe that covers as much of your foot as possible. So remember high volume shoes, as your ankles will totally take a beat down to the rock. Also, make sure it's a little thicker in composition and the laces come all the way up to your ankle. A good shoe for crack climbing is again the 510 Moccasym or the Sportiva Mythos. Check those out. Well, that's about it. If you have any questions on climbing shoes, please comment, as I would love to help you not make the same beginning mistakes that I did when buying my first shoes. It is a learning process, and even with all my tips, it may not catch all mistakes. Thanks so much for watching and supporting OregonOutside.net. Get out there and send something this weekend, because it's going to be beautiful.